So our second panel, Michael Poffenberger, co-founder and executive director, the Resolve, Father Benoit, president of Dungu Doruma Diocesan Commission for Justice and Peace in the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sister Angelique, coordinator Mama Bongisa, Democratic Republic of Congo, and John Prendergast, co-founder of the Enough Project. That's all right, no.
Better switch that.
Right, yeah, right. Hey.
Good afternoon, Congressman.
Good afternoon, and we'll begin with you, Mr. Poffenberger, and we welcome your testimony and thank you for all of your great work.
Yeah, thank you. Before getting started, just to echo the thanks both to you, Congressman Duncan, and Congressman McGovern, but also to my co-panelists, the grizzled human rights activist down at the other end of the table, who's just unrelenting in his pursuit of these objectives, but also two people who are some of the most inspiring people I've had the chance to meet in 7 years of working on this issue, and I think it's a privilege to hear about sacrifices that they've been making on behalf of peace in their communities. As you all know, in the past few months, there's been unprecedented attention to this issue. It really started in October with the president's deployment of 100 U.S. military advisors to regional governments. This move created front-page news for an issue that has long dwelled as one of the more neglected human rights crises in our world, and sparked a much-needed conversation about what really it was going to take to end a problem that has stretched on now for more than 25 years. Against all odds, this unprecedented peak of attention was itself far surpassed in March with the viral spread of the Kony 2012 campaign and film, in which more than 100 million people watched that film and simultaneously found themselves asking the question how it was possible that so few people could cause such great suffering for so many and for so long. 2 million Americans alone signed a campaign pledge calling on American leaders to do more after viewing the film. Kony's work has long benefited from the shadows. His strategy is to target the communities on the margins of our world, in the areas where governments in the region and the international community as a whole is the least likely and least able to actually respond. And so this kind of attention is kind of long overdue for those of us who've been following the issue for a long time. It's also most welcome. Congress in particular has been seized in the follow-up to this effort, and building on the leadership, Congressman McGovern, that you and Congressman Royce and 201, I believe, bipartisan members of Congress showed in sponsoring the LRA Disarmament and Northern Uganda Recovery Act, has continued to be ahead of the administration in calling for more action to see this problem solved. But today, with all due respect to the former panelists, I'm deeply concerned by the lack of a vision and lack of leadership that's been shown so far to build on the deployment of the advisors with a strategy that's actually capable of solving this problem. I don't think that any impartial estimate of current efforts could conclude that the tools and strategy now in place has a significant prospect for success. But first, to comment on the good. The deployment of those advisors, approximately 100, as you heard, approximately half based in Uganda, and the rest in 4 forward operating locations, 1 in South Sudan, 2 in Central African Republic, and 1 in the Congo, where they are building collaboratively partnerships with these regional militaries, streamlining the flow of information from the U.S. Information gathering efforts directly into the operations on the ground, and providing invaluable advice that can help these militaries improve their efforts to both pursue LRA groups and protect civilians from LRA violence. But this in itself is not going to succeed, and in a very short time frame here, and before I deferring to my colleagues, I just want to highlight a few key areas that I think are in urgent need of attention. First and foremost, the deployment of these advisors has to be complemented with a much more aggressive diplomatic strategy. The Ugandan forces pursuing the LRA have been not allowed access into the Congo, where some of the most deadly attacks have been carried out. In 2008 and 2009, both attacks were carried out that killed more than 300 civilians in each time, and the violence in Congo has been on the rise. Even more concerningly is the reports, very credible, that Kony himself has received safe haven in areas of South Darfur. The administration has made no public gestures, no naming and shaming, no public diplomacy whatsoever to fix these safe haven issues that now occur. And it seems bewildering to me how we could send 100 U.S. military personnel into a theater of operations where a large part of their mandate is to bring to justice LRA commanders who they actually don't have access, the forces that they're advising don't have access into the areas where those commanders are now thought to be hiding. In addition to the diplomatic piece of it, I think most of what else, the other tools that are needed are on the funding side. And again, here Congress has been ahead of the administration, and I'll highlight just a couple of those pieces. In the 2012 Defense Authorization Act, Congress provided an authorization of up to $35 million to enhance logistics support. The forces now deployed against the LRA don't have any kind of tactical mobility. And conventional forces are at a severe disadvantage in trying to pursue very small, highly mobile, disparate groups of LRA across such vast territory. That support, however, that was authorized by Congress has not yet been used by the administration. DOD has not taken that authority and actually directed it, implemented it on the ground. So I appreciate that our colleagues from the Pentagon indicated that authority was helpful, but it would also be helpful if they actually used it. Similarly, in the State and Foreign Ops Bill, Congress has been advocating for increased funds to the non-military aspects of the strategy, which when the President issued his comprehensive LRA strategy in late 2010, we welcomed the degree to which it went to great lengths to demonstrate that you need a multifaceted strategy to combat a rebel group that has evaded the efforts of regional governments for so long. In particular, FM radio broadcasts that can help convince LRA abductees to defect. Very simple technologies like HF radios that can connect communities that are previously in total communication blackout, provide valuable early warning information about when they're most at risk of LRA attacks, and provide that information back to the military forces that need that information to be pursuing those LRA groups. And again, they allocated up to $10 million, and the administration has indicated it only plans to use $5 million, which is, again, a very paltry sum of funds. And then lastly, on the surveillance aspect, there was an authorization to more than double the amount of funds being used to use aerial surveillance tools, which is one of the most important contributions that the United States has made to this effort, to help detect where these LRA groups are moving, figure out where those top commanders are located, and direct resources in the appropriate directions. And I think that's an equally essential piece that needs to move forward. So I would encourage Congress to continue on in these directions, keep pushing the administration, keep being on the leading edge of this, and don't accept the idea that what's happening is enough. The idea that we have time and we just need to let this strategy work. For those who know the region, know that you don't have time in these kinds of situations, and that if you solve the problem when you have a window of opportunity and the assets arguably are in place in a way now that they never have been before, then geopolitical changes in the region or change of administrations or change in anything could completely close that window of opportunity. And so I would encourage us to continue on with, as you have, advocating for these kinds of steps to be taken. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. And we're going to go to Father Benoit, and I understand that you will have a translator. So we welcome you here.
Il dit qu'il vous remercie d'être là.
Merci beaucoup. Nous remercions beaucoup le Congrès américain depuis le début des événements et toujours avec nous. Nous constatons ça sur terrain.
We would like to thank the United States Congress. I praise already.
Okay.
I would like to extend our thanks to U.S. Congress for the effort made since the beginning of this. They have been on our side since the beginning.
Merci pour tous les efforts. Et depuis le début des événements chez nous, notre organisation, la Commission de Justice et Paix, s'est employée beaucoup pour faire comprendre ce que la LRA fait de notre population dans la région.
Since the beginning of the issue, our organizations named Diocesan Commission for Justice and Peace have always worked in order to promote and explain what the LRA has been doing in the area.
La communauté internationale et les États-Unis en particulier se sont mobilisés
The international community and the United States specifically are work together.
mais
mobilized.
je dois vous dire que les exactions de la LRA continuent dans la région.
But I would like to tell you that the atrocity and exaction of the LRA in the region continue.
Et si je suis venu ici, c'est pour formuler des recommandations sous forme de demandes.
And if I'm here today is to express some recommendation in terms of demand.
Je voudrais que, si c'était possible, que le Congrès insiste auprès du gouvernement américain qu'il puisse appuyer les efforts pour que mon gouvernement congolais puisse reconnaître la présence de la LRA et puisse aussi accepter de collaborer avec les autres gouvernements pour l'éradication du phénomène LRA.
I would like to express to the Congress that if the Congress can press the U.S. government in order to push the Congolese government to recognize the existence of LRA in the Republic Democratic of Congo, and also to collaborate with the other government in the area.
Puisque jusque-là, mon gouvernement n'accepte pas de collaborer avec les autres pour éradiquer ce phénomène sous prétexte de la souveraineté, alors que nous, population civile, c'est nous qui subissons les atrocités.
Because until now, our government has refused to collaborate with other government in the area because of the pride of its own sovereignty. But we, people, we are the one who are suffering on the ground.
Nous demandons aussi au gouvernement américain de professionnaliser les armées qui interviennent dans ces conflits et surtout de les former en matière de la protection des droits humains.
We are also asking the United States Congress in order to provide training in order to professionalize the local army and also to train them in the protection of human rights.
Et je pense que les 100 conseillers envoyés sur terrain sont capables de rendre ce service à nos armées.
And I do believe that 100 advisors sent in the area are capable to do the work.
Et nous pensons aussi que le gouvernement américain puisse aider à améliorer les infrastructures de la communication comme il a déjà commencé, et aussi les infrastructures routières pour permettre la mobilité de nos armées et aussi la protection des civils.
We also would like to ask the United States in order to provide assistance in the building infrastructure, the communication infrastructure, and also to create a mobility or to create a road, make the road accessible in order for this army to provide assistance in the area.
Pour ce qui concerne la justice, il est important de noter que le mandat d'arrêt international a été lancé contre Joseph Kony et ses hauts commandants, mais par ailleurs, il y a d'autres commandants sous Joseph Kony qui ont commis d'autres atrocités, mais qui ne sont pas sous ces mandats d'arrêt international.
On the justice side, we know that a warrant arrest have been ordered against Joseph Kony and the higher rank leader. However, some of the commandant or the member of the LRA who have also committed some atrocity have not their name are not mentioned under those warrants.
Nous serons heureux de les voir répondre de leurs actes devant la justice.
We will be happy to see these people also respond before the justice based on the atrocity committed.
Pour terminer, je dois vous dire sincèrement que trop, c'est trop. Nous attendons impatiemment une solution pour la paix durable dans notre région.
To finish, I would like to say that there's two more. We are waiting and we are eager to see the end to this and to provide peace and justice.
Au nom de la population que je représente ici devant vous, je vous remercie pour votre aimable attention Et aussi, j'anticipe mes remerciements pour tout effort que vous allez encore fournir dans le futur.
On behalf of the population of Congo, as I'm representing here, I would like to extend my great appreciation to you, and in the meantime, to thank you in advance for all the effort that you have done and what you are going to do as well.
Well, thank you very much, Father, and thank you for your very important testimony.
Merci
It's very, very
beaucoup pour
helpful to
votre
us,
témoignage très important.
and we appreciate very much you
C'est
being
très
here.
important pour nous et nous apprécions le fait que vous soyez ici.
Merci.
Sister Angelique, welcome.
Ok. Merci pour m'avoir donné la parole. Moi, je suis sœur Angélique Namaikana, coordonnatrice de l'association Mama Bongisa, qui est centre de réinsertion et d'appui au développement.
My name is Sister Angelique Namaika. I am the coordinator of the organizations called Mama Bongisa, which is a center for the reinsertion and integration and the development of the those who suffer from the LRA.
Je suis ici dans ce congrès pour partager avec vous l'expérience de mon travail avec les femmes et enfants victimes des atrocités de la LRA.
I'm here to share before this panel the kind of work that I have done in order to support women and children victims of the atrocity committed by the LRA and CONI.
Avant de commencer mon introduction, je vous remercie grandement à travers les ONG internationales qui sont venues immédiatement à l'appui de ces femmes et enfants victimes.
Before my statement, I would like to thank you first for all these international organizations who have been instrumental in intervening at the beginning of the issue, providing assistance to women and children.
Mon partage se divise à trois grands points. Premièrement, je vais vous parler de comment cette atrocité de la LRA affecte la population de Dungu. Deuxièmement, je vais...
My testimony will be divided in three main points. The first point is about how the atrocity committed by the LRA have affected the population.
Deuxièmement, quels sont les sentiments que les femmes victimes et enfants éprouvent pendant leur formation et après leur formation.
And also the deep sentiment that those women and children have for the kind of training that I provided after they get out of the turmoil by the LRA.
Et enfin, je vais vous donner mon impression de travail avec les femmes et enfants victimes et les problèmes que je rencontre dans cette formation.
And thirdly, I would like to share with you the work that I've done and that I'm continuing to do with women and children, as well as the difficulties encountered during this work.
En réalité, la population de Dungu sont marquées et gardent un très mauvais souvenir des atrocités de la LRA qu'ils ne peuvent jamais oublier dans leur vie.
The population of Dongo have a serious idea, and they have in their mind what they have been through, and it's difficult for them to forget it.
Ces atrocités qui se caractérisent par les tueries, les enlèvements, les mutilations, destruction des villages.
Those atrocities, which are on the different ways related to the killing, the kidnapping, the mutilation, and the burning of housing.
Et pour ce faire, ils décident de rester sur la terre des déplacés au lieu de rentrer dans leur village aussi longtemps qu'ils n'attendent pas parler de Kony qui est sorti de la brousse et la fin des atrocités.
And based on this population have decided to stay in the displaced camp and refuse to return back to their original village until they heard or they've seen the end to the atrocity or the killing or capture of Joseph Kony.
Pour les sentiments que les femmes victimes éprouvent, pour moi, c'est le sentiment de joie.
About women's victim, they have the sentiment of joy.
Je donne l'exemple d'une fille de 14 ans qui était enlevée par la LRA et est sortie après 3 ans avec un bébé de 6 mois malnutri et femme infectée des IST.
I would like to share with you the example of this young lady who has about 14 years old, who has been abducted by the LRA, spent about 3 years with the LRA, and who get out of the LRA the region with a 6-month baby in her hand. The baby who the mother who is affected with the SDT, and the child who is completely malnourished.
Et j'amenais souvent à l'hôpital pour leurs soins et je leur donnais à manger.
I personally, most of the time, take this young lady and the child to the hospital in order to receive medical attention.
Et après, je leur montrais la préparation des pains pour son autofinancement.
I also help her in order to bake bread and sell in order to create a self and self-sufficient.
Et avec cette formation, elle est devenue aujourd'hui heureuse et elle prend en charge son enfant et elle-même.
With this training that she received, she is actually happy and she is able to take care of her child by herself.
Mon impression personnelle vis-à-vis de ce travail est très positive. Je suis heureuse de faire ce travail.
My personal comment about this work is very positive because I'm very happy of the work that I've done.
Parce que ces femmes victimes et à femmes fait confiance.
Because those women victims of the LRA, they trust me in what I do.
Et à chaque fois, il y a d'autres équipes qui s'ajoutent pour bénéficier de cette formation.
And every time there are other women who join the group in order to receive the training.
Mais vu ma capacité de moyens de financement, je ne peux pas aller plus loin.
But based on my capacity, the limited financing capacity that I have, I cannot go further in my work.
C'est pour cela que j'ai beaucoup de problèmes pour faire parfaitement mon travail.
Reason why I have difficulties to complete perfectly my job.
Étant donné que c'est le site de déplacés, il y a beaucoup de structures qui manquent et le matériel pour ces formations.
Based on the fact that we are working on the site, which is a displaced that the displaced people live in, there is a lack of specific structure.
Par exemple, structure pour l'alphabétisation, pour la coupe-couture, et l'hébergement pour les orphelins.
For example, there is a lack of structure to provide literacy, also center for orphans like orphanage, and there is also a lack of material to help women to do a kind of sewing work.
Pour terminer, il est très important de réintégrer ces femmes et enfants victimes de violences de la LRA dans la société.
And finally, it's very important to reintegrate those women and children victims of the LRA into the society.
À leur offrant l'éducation, la formation et l'aide psychologique et médicale.
By providing education, training, and also to provide this the point.
L'aide psychologique
And
et
also
médicale.
psychological help and medical help as well.
Voilà tout ce que je fais pour apporter mon support dans cette souffrance des conflits de la LRA.
That's what I do in order to provide my assistance with this conflict with the LRA in the area.
Merci.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much for being here, and thank you for your very important testimony.